Hello, 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 and we are back for another episode. Um, so what's that going to end up happening here is we just want to, we did a lot this past week on this application. There's a couple more things I want to do, so I'm just going to try and get some of that stuff done today. I don't know if I'll have everything done, but what I really want to do is set up a new parameter on the user model to say, actually, sorry, the agent model to say if the agent is the owner of the company or not, meaning the user. We already set it up where the agent is automatically created, like when someone registers, an agent is created in the name of the user who registered, and that should be have a default of being the owner of the company. So that agent would get, it's just a matter of how it calculates commissions or how it just sort of reports on the commissions, because that agent would then get in their little sheet saying that the remainder of all the other agents would then go into the company, which is this original agent. It's sort of a little bit confusing. Maybe I'm not explaining it very well, but essentially what I want to do is modify the, let's go here and modify the schema. Okay, it's just I have to reload there. But anyways, I'm going to load up the schema for a second, and it's going to just be modifying the original schema that I have for agents. So that's what I'm sort of going to work on today. Waiting for this Control P to load up here. Taking its sweet time. Let's see here. There it is, schema. Okay. And let's take a look here. So agents is going to be near the top because it starts with A, and there it is. We have name, email, commission percentage. I'm not utilizing the email as of yet, but I have it in there for future use. I just want to add one more saying owner and make that a Boolean. So let's go in here and grab our Chrome, and we'll search up Rails model Boolean. Just to make sure we do this properly. Oh, that's not what I want. What's this avoid three-state Boolean problem? By setting default. Okay, so this is essentially what we want to do. So in order to pull that off, what we need is a migration. Now, we're going to generate a brand new migration for this because it's an existing application in production. So let's cancel that server to generate the migration. So Rails, I wonder why this isn't working. We'll close that down. That's good. That's the application. So I wonder if this will work. Yep. So we'll go up here and go Rails G for generate migration. And then the migration will be, let's see here, add owner to agents. And I think that's, I'm just going to double check. I'm pretty sure you can do it this way, but there is a way where you could do it and it understands exactly what you're talking about. So Rails G migration. Let's just see if there's anything here. Product, that's generate model. Okay, here. Add part to, yep, that's the way I did it. And then I think there's a thing you can do here, so you can automatically set what you want it to add. So in this case, we wanted to add owner, and that's a Boolean. Double check that. Cool. Boolean. and I can hit enter. So this will automatically know where to put it because it sort of reads this and says, oh, I know what's going on. So it generated the add owner to agents. Actually, that might have probably should have been agent. Oh no, products, it does it pluralize there too. Good. So let's jump over to here, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to do Control P, but instead I'll just come down here into DB, into migrations. And at the bottom, we should see our new one, add owner to agent. And you can see in add column to the agents table, and the column is going to be owner, and it's going to be a Boolean. So let's see what the trick was on the website to save ourselves, so avoiding the three-state Boolean problem. So we're going to add this line here saying null is false, so it has to be something or other. And then it also has a default setting for it, which is, in our case, it's going to be true. Whoops. Whoops, undo that. Okay, so we're going to go paste this in. This is going to be true, and we can get rid of the extra little thing it added here. Perfect, so that does that. There typically is a way of reversing this, but I don't know if I necessarily have to. I'm just going to save this, go back here, go up, and oh, that's doing that. So change. I'm just seeing if there is a no. So change seems to be the smart way, like it does it smartly, because you can reverse a migration. And as you see, I've done here the remove index. I have an up and a down. So if you're going up in the migration, it does this. And if you're going backwards in the migration, it does this. But change is smart enough where here it just says def change for a method. It's smart enough to know, okay, yeah, add this column in. And if you want to reverse that, if you want to go backwards with the migration, remove that column. It knows to do that. So I'm going to hit save and go through, and now that we have that set up, we can do rake db migrate. And if it doesn't have any errors, it's going to generate that migration. It's going to update the tables for us. And we should be able to use that now in our code. Just trying to think of what else I need to do for this application before we can move back to the other one, because I want to get this one pretty much wrapped up here. Well, so I did quite a bit there. Okay. It looks like I had a migration on the user. Weird. All right, so I'm going to maybe take a few seconds here, and it's running agents test because it did update that. Smart enough to do that. And then I want it to run all the tests. I'm just going to do this and I'll have it run everything. We will wait on this. Okay, so everything finished there. So 20 assertions on the agent, which is good. I'm going to run, oh, it's running on the user test, sorry. Wait on that. So let me just think here. So I want to do this feature where it sets owner. Oh, damn it. I'm going to get to show off the going backwards with the migration here because I didn't want that to be defaulted to true. I want it to be defaulted to false. Now we have two errors here. Okay, so it looks like something that happened in the database migration for users is making the user test fail. So before we do anything, we should go back and check that. So I will do Schema because that will have updated. And the end of this will be the new user stuff. So name, email, password. I'm just seeing here, everything looks fine. Slug, true. Don't see anything there, so let me go over to the user tests. Okay, there we go. Models and user tests. This was a new test I created. That's weird. I wonder what's causing it to fail. Delete. Okay, I'm going to run these tests again, see what's going on there. 100% sure why I set that to true as the default. I think it's because like the first one is always true, but then after that every single other agent should be false. Okay, the user, no message given, damn it. Well, why is that not saving? And why is this not? What does this say? Test Bob test. Rollback email equals test Bob test. Let's just take a look at this. Now in the fixtures, what am I doing for fixtures here? Yeah, so it should be fine. Wonder what it wants in here. I wonder if it wants me to do password. Oh, no, it should actually be this. I wonder if that's what it's looking for. Save that, and let's take a gander at this. It'd be nice if it told us the failure reason. The other thing I can think of is it may need, let's see here, we have user, ooh, one failure. There we go. I think that solved it, hopefully. Okay, so if we just need to pass the password. So let's go like this, boom, and yank that. So unfortunately I have a bunch of these, but and do this. This might just be a little bit boring, just bear with me. Very important to make sure all our tests pass without moving forward. Otherwise, we'll just be running around in circles. 8, 9. Okay, save that. Let's see if this all passes. And then, while that's running, I'm just going to quickly search up Rails. I think it's yeah, DB rollback. Yep, Rails DB rollback. Huh. So this failed with Dr. Martin Luther King. So this is a new spot that it failed at, so let's just take a look at that line because it might. Okay, I have the password there. I have, do I do test 2? Yes, I do. Just save that. There, that's the problem, because we can't duplicate emails, so that was the big issue there. Whoops. Okay, so now I can run that, and while that's running, whoops, not that. So rollback seems to be the way to do it. Let's redo. The migrate route is a shortcut for doing a rollback and then a migration back up again. As with the DB rollback task, you can use the step parameter to go back. Yeah. Let's try that. Rails DB redo. I think that's interesting. So there we go. We have no errors on our thing. So there we go. Perfect. So that's what we've been looking for. Now let's go and run this migration. We'll just edit it because I want this thing to be default to false. I don't know why I was not thinking there. But it gets us to try something I've never tried before, which is, this is running this, okay, so that's passing. So let's go ahead in here and run Rails DB migrate redo. Migration DB, let's see. Huh. Let's try it with rake then. Rake DB migrate redo. There we go, rake. I wonder if that's an error in this documentation. Keeps saying bin Rails. I don't know, it wasn't letting me do it there. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and check what that did in the schema. So I'm going to schema. And in here, we go to the very top because it's agents. And the owner is now default to false, good. And it's a Boolean field. So what I am going to do now is go to, let's see, the user .rb. This is where we create a user. At the very bottom, we have our default settings. And in agents create, I'm going to have name, commission, and then I'm also going to try and set the owner to true and save that. So this shouldn't break anything. And from there, we are going to be able to do other things. So let's go ahead and try to create a new, I don't think I have Rails server going. Rails S. Okay. I'm going to try and create a new one and just make sure nothing's broken on the going through the browser way, testing that out. So that's cool. All our tests are working. Just trying to think how I'm going to implement it on the report side. There's always 100 different ways you can do something, so it's sort of the fun part is figuring out which way you want to try and tackle it the first. Okay, so whoop. That's still not up yet. Come on, Puma, boot this thing. So on the reports, what will essentially happen is I should get the okay, there we go. So I should get the agents because I get all the agents for the user. So I should get them in the order that the last one is the owner, which is easy to do. And then I'm going to, if there is one if the agent is an owner, then I'm going to add in all of the company data into it. If not, I'm not going to do anything different than I have already done. So that should work fine. But to start off, let's go ahead and get this login working. And it's very slow. I was coding on the MacBook the other day and it's so much faster, and I thought to myself, well, I'll just stream from this. So then I went to get all the streaming stuff that I use, and they don't, surprisingly, they don't make it for Mac. So I thought, well, I could go and get a whole different type of streaming program, but then I'm thinking, yeah, but then I wouldn't really have easy access to the second monitor and all that. So yeah, I didn't end up doing it. So let's just try this out. My timer. Timer. And it doesn't really matter. We're just seeing if it actually does go through without any errors. Register. We'll end up in the subscription page, and we'll subscribe. And then we should end up in this setup page for agents. There we go. So the my timer 100%. There we go. So for right now, I'm not going to give them any control over setting if this is the owner or not. I'm going to do that here. In the future, I may have that as an option where you can go in and edit this this agent and then set from in there if they are the owner or not. But what that would require at this time is for me to go through and say there can only be one owner. So technically, if you change someone else to be the owner, then it has to go through and look if there is any other agents that have that owner type flag turned on, and then turn theirs off and save their. So it's a little bit more work. So for right now, I'm just not going to give them the power to do that, and I'll just set the first one that I create as the owner, and then we'll go from there. So if it is a requirement in the future, then I'll add it, but for now it's fine. So I am going to double check that that is the way that it is by, actually I could probably see right in here where it created it. Okay. So right here, update user. Okay, let's find the subscription thing. Just looking for where it set the agent. Media type, taxes, media type, agents right here. So owner is true right there. Owner is true right there. Good. So it looks like it did perfectly fine. All right, so next up is going to the reports controller. So reports controller, and in here under reports, report info, actually I should probably go into the reports model here. That's for one particular one. A report agent hash. Okay, so what we're going to do is go into the reports model instead. So model report. Okay, and then we're going to go down. So for each one, it's going to get the pay logs. Yep. So what's going to happen is in here, I'm going to go if agent.owner. All right. I'm going to run something. So I'm going to run pay logs. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to reset pay logs to equal how's this going to work? Wait a minute. So this report general totals, that's what I'm getting. Report general totals. So I need to break this out into one extra step here. So I'm just going to cancel that for a second and then come in here and whoops, take this out of here. And that goes up here. Whoops. Okay. So what will I call this? Report totals equals. And then this will equal report totals. Okay. So we have to, so what we're going to do here is say if the agent is the owner, we're going to add in something to the report totals. So we're going to say copy, whoops, undo that. Yank word and then paste. So we're going to say report totals is going to equal, what should we call our method? Whoops, that's not what I wanted. I know, we'll call it this. Add company to agent. Report totals. If the agent is the owner. And then down here, we will just log that into the report agents thing, like usual. Yeah, because that's all we have to do. Perfect. Okay, so now we just need to do that one method. This is actually looking to be quite simple, a lot easier than I thought. So we're going to say add company to agent, and this will be the report totals. We may need a few other things passed along here. The pay logs. Okay, yeah, no, this is where it gets a little trickier. So the company totals, yeah, so yeah, this is what we'll just run it in here. Okay, so I'm going to yank that whole thing. So we're going to paste it there. So we're going to get some new pay logs. So we're going to say the user start date and end date. So we need to pass those in. Yank that. Unfortunately, I don't know how I'm going to get the user. Man, oh yeah, I know how to do it. Never mind, sorry. So I will do that. Okay, so we're going to get the report totals, the agent, start date and end date. Yank that up there. Boom. Okay. So the user is going to be the agent.user. Okay, and then start date, end date. Perfect. Okay, that should work. So now that we have the pay logs for everybody, we need to get the did we get the report totals? The report totals is the general totals. So now we just run this. We run that and merge into it the report company totals. No, we don't do that. We get the report company totals. Because if we just merge it in, it would just be a hash of that information, but that's not what we want. We want to get the report company totals with the pay logs, our new pay logs we got. Okay, good. Okay, so this will be called company totals. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what's happened here. So company totals is this method. So it creates a hash with these three things in it: the company amount, company tax, company total. What I want to do is add that into these three amounts: the agent amount, agent tax, agent total. So that's what I essentially want to do, is add in those company ones into that one. So that's what this whole method is supposed to do. So if I say add company to agent, all I need to do is then do report totals, and then say the agent amount, right? There is probably a way of doing this, but it's probably going to be hard. So this is just the easiest way to write it quickly and just get it up and working, hopefully. So we're going to, can we do plus equals in Ruby? Let's hope so. Let's just check it out. Where's our, we don't have one. Okay, so IRB. One plus equals 2. Syntax error, damn it. What are we doing here? Okay. Ruby plus equals. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. Adding value to variable. That's not what I want, not that. Ruby has no pre-post, for instance. To increment numbers, simply write x plus equals 1. X equals 1. X plus equals 2. Okay, so it needs to be a variable, so it should work. That was really weird why it didn't work to begin with. Okay, so if we say plus equals company totals, and this is company amount. So essentially this is what should, whoops. Alrighty, and then this is total, and this is total. Beautiful. So that'll take care of both the agent reports and the company reports, because it'll go through here and say report totals will reset to equal add company to agent if the agent is the owner. So essentially that's what's happening. And we got the agent. So the agent dot user will work, hopefully. So let me just exit out of here and go into Rails console just to verify that before we run the code. Agent will equal agent dot first bill. So then a dot user will give us user 1. Perfect. Exit. See. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm just going to go back, just look over the code one more time. So in the reporting agent hash, which is the only thing we care about, it says if the agent is the owner, then run all this stuff, and then run that add company to agent thing, and reset report totals, which is then put in under the agents thing on the report agents, which is awesome. So the add company to agent takes for totals, the agent start to end date. It gets the new pay logs list. Using the user now instead of the agent, it uses the user to get all of them between the start date and the end date. And then it says the company totals is the report company totals based on those pay logs, which are just the 3 items. And then it goes through and adds in those 3 items to the 3 items in the agent's report totals, which is great. And then it passes back, which I just forgot to do, so good thing I read this. It passes back the report totals. Perfect. Then that's good. Oh, save. And let's test this in the browser. So I'm going to be done with this. There's probably an easier way because I'll have to set up everything. Plus I'll have to put paylogs in. So I think the very first one had a whole bunch of stuff already set up. So we'll just go through there. Man, this is really... Hopefully this user is still set up. It is. Okay, so here's a whole bunch of stuff, right? Different people and all that kind of stuff. So I can go to company report. And see, this is going to be the old way because this was not set up as the owner. All Bill's clients, that's fine. All Fred's clients. Actually, this is a bad way of doing it. We should go back. Sign in with, who was the last one that we signed in with? My timer. My timer at test.com. So we need the agent that has the owner set, which is the newest one. Current client list. So we have a agent my timer, which we'll just give him Alias. Okay, so that's good. My timer logs in. So I'll go into the agents and set up a brand new agent besides my timer. So we'll set up Al Big. They get 60%. Save that. And we'll give good old Al a client. So Billis is our big timer client, and we'll create a new client, Alice. Yep. Create some reports, and this, I should restart this virtual box. It's starting to run out of memory, I think, or something. So we'll start up this log new payment. So Alice is not the company's agent, so we'll just say the 10th, gross in dollars, payroll. There's a bunch of ones here, so let's say film, save. So as you can see, my timer has some revenue here of 360 plus tax, so forth, and then the agent Al, which is the agent, gets some money here. So we'll log a new one, but in this time we're going to be using Billis, which is the company's client or the agent representing the company, and we'll say just the 10th too, 7,000 and 9,000 again. Film, good. And we'll go through, and you can see how the company gets 0 here because my timer gets everything. But the trick here is when we go to the company reports, my timer's individual one. So here's my timer's revenue table. Now this, one thing we may need to do is add in the agents into this as well, instead of having it just be like that, but we may get to that later. So anyways, here is this one where they're making 610 here, and down here you can see they're making 1593. I wonder how we can make this add up here. So 610 is 1100. 1100 plus 406 is 1500. Yeah. So it looks like it's working perfectly. So that's there. Okay, I'm just making sure this is going to work out. Okay, it may need a little bit of tweaking because this could get complicated, but I think this is working. So the pay table, that's all the commissions for the entire company. It may, just wondering. Yeah, so that would be everything. So this number and this number is 2203. So 2203 right there, total deductions. So yeah, that does work. Um, this is the one that may need to be tweaked a little bit. Yeah, so how would I do that? So this is strictly, so I could get the, yeah, so I could do that. So I'm going to just look at it for a quick sec. So in here, I could say, um, get the paylogs index, right, for the user. And then this is where it merges in the company and the general. Now the company here, when it goes and gets that, I could have it do it a different way where it says, just trying to make sure I'm not duplicating work here. I could do a reverse one where it says add agent to company. Yeah, that might work. Sort of duplicate work maybe, but it's one way I can get it to work easily. So I can go like this, yank that down to here. And this time I'm adding agent to company. And I should probably spell it right, company. Okay, so it's going to go through and gets the report totals. In this case, I just want it to get the report agent hash. Report general totals. No, report. Oh man, what am I doing here? So I need to get the, I'm going to pass it an agent. And I need to run this, whoops, this essentially. So it's just this one. Okay. So I have this. I know I need the agent. I'm going to get the general totals for the pay logs, which are the agent totals. So I don't need to get this. Boom, whoops. Okay, now I'm going to reverse these. So I'm going to say yank word, replace word. No, can't do that. All right, this will be agent. Agent. Okay. Company. Oops. Boom, 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 boom. Company. Boom, 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 boom. Company. I'm just wondering because I wonder if reporting it, if I should still report, instead of adding company to agent, I should just do this one and add the extra column to that agent's list. Probably not. Probably not. No, no, no. Okay. So yeah, I'll just leave that off. Let me just think there a second. No, I think I'm doing this okay. So I'm going to change the reports just a little bit. So add agent to company. So okay. So when do I call this add agent to company? Sorry, I'm just thinking about 10 things at once here. Get back on track here. So I'm going to merge in the report company totals. Report company totals. Yeah, so down here, instead of just merging those in, I should, we're at the very bottom, okay. So here I should go like this. Company totals equals report company totals pay logs. Okay, so that's no different. So this, if I just change this over here, change for words to company totals, right? So that is no different than what we already had. But I want to do one thing here. Company totals equal add agent to company. I'm going to pass it the company totals. I'm going to pass it the agent. I'm going to pass it the start date and the end date. Okay, and I'm only going to do this if agent. So up here, I should check if agent equals agent, or sorry, user.agents where owner is true. So that's going to get that, where owner equals true. I could do dot first, because I only want one. There should only be one, but just as a safety measure, I'll say dot first, and that just gets the first agent. So if there is an agent like that, add the agent to the company, and then use the company totals there. So boom, that works. One thing I want to do here, though, I want to pass in this thing where I add in I wonder how I can do it. So I can just say true back here. I wonder if I can do a keyword value here. I wonder if that's going to screw it up, but for company, true. Oh, I spelled company wrong again. Okay, I wonder if that'll screw it up. Let's just go up here and say report agent's hash. At the very end here, I'll just say for company. False. And then I can say right here. Okay. So here I get the report totals. If agent dot owner wait, no. Then I can do else if for company and then end. So this one is going to be, whoops. This one's going to be report totals equals report totals dot merge report company totals. How does this work? Yeah, pay logs. Okay, so that's going to merge in those. If we're doing a for company report. If not, we don't want them to know what the company is pulling in off each of them. So that's fine, we're not going to do that. But we're only going to do that if it's not the owner agent, because the owner agent is going to have that bundled in, which is what this add company to agent is. The other ones don't. So good, actually that works out really nicely. The only thing this is going to probably screw up is the templates, but we'll see about that just now. So we'll save that. That for company, I've never done that keyword. Let's just search that up quick. Rails method keyword arg. Just says equals. You got to, okay, here. Options, name width height. Yeah, that's sort of how we're doing it. We'll see, we might get an error, but whatever. What was I doing here? Oh yeah, the views report agent. Reporting table for company. Okay, what's this? For company is false. Ah, interesting. So this might be easy. So hopefully, let's just try. So for company false means it's not going to put those in, which is great. So I might have already set this up. So then views, report, and then company. So for each agent, in this case, company will be true because it is for the company. Beautiful. Let's see what happens. Just have some fun with this. Okay, so I'm just going to refresh this. No errors, that's always a good thing. All right, so with this, my timer's revenue should, this is a larger number, but this should equal the very bottom here. My timer's revenue is 1593.30. Okay, 1593.30. Good. Now this, oh, nice. So Big Al's, see how it's different there? Showing up different. Now this is, I wonder how we can get this not to show up. I know a pretty simple way of doing it. So I'm just going to do this. So we can say for company, oh no, that's not going to work. I wonder if I did this. This is sort of weird thinking, but if I said that.agent.owner, so it's for company if the agent is not owner. Let's just see. Let's see if that works. It's really backwards thinking, but could work. No, namespace agent. Local agent. Does it not have that? I thought we were calling an agent every time. Agent, oh, agent name. Oh, shoot. Well, I could maybe do this. This is another tricky thing. So we could do report info dot has key company amount. Whoops, I think that's actually brackets. Now, does have key have a question mark in the end? I'm not sure, so let's just test this. Yep, it does have a question mark. Insert question mark. Save. So if it has a company amount, then it is a syntax error. Shoot, what happened here? Syntax error expected. Oh, whoops. Ruby, well, let's say Rails hash has key. Oh, that's where the question mark goes. That is the problem. Okay, save that. This should work. It's funny how complicated you can get with, you know, utilizing different data bits that you have. With just a few little word tweaks or lines of code, you can really manipulate how you display data. That's one of the things I find really fascinating is you can create an app that collects a bunch of data, but how you display it is sort of the fun bit on how you can manipulate Rails to do the things that you want it to do. Like in this case, by simply running this one thing, it sets a true or false on this flag, this variable here, for company, which then totally changes the way that it's displayed. So as you can see here, the My Timers report, we're bundling this table into this one, so I don't need to show that one anymore. And because of the way we set up generating the hash, it just does everything right. So here we have Al's pay table, and then we have the My Timers revenue off of Al is there, and that's broken out perfectly. And up here, there's My Timers revenue, which is the total amount from down here, 1593, 1593, and then all the agents is 1796. So that's going to be the 610 plus uh, the agent from down here, My Timer. So that one, we may need to do something with this one too, the all agents, and just not include My Timer stuff, but for now it's fine. All clients, all agents, and this is My Timer's revenue. Yeah. What this could be is yeah, I might do all agents minus My Timer. Wonder if I can do that quick. I think that's easy because I have it set up in the report controller. Nope, I have it in the model report. So here I say add agent to company. And then I can do the exact same thing here. Yank. And say yeah, so here this should have agent amounts. Yeah, there we go. This is going to work. Agent amount. Agent, oh come on. Agent tax. And agent, I did it again. Agent total, so this case I'm going to replace that with a negative. So we're just subtracting it out of the agent amount and we're adding it into the company amount there. So that actually will be very nice. And all the numbers will add up visually. So it's handy. Come over here. No, it doesn't like that. Minus equals. Oh, weird because, oh, for nil class. Oh. So, the reports total is only doing the one. So that is something we're going to have to check. So let's go back here. I understand now. So we will need to add agent to company. So I'm going to need to pass in the, where is the add agent to company? Right there. Okay, so we have company totals and the general totals we're going to need here. Oops. So we'll delete them out of there. Oops. And equal. So these are the general. Whoops. General. Okay, so the general totals dot merge company totals. So we will need to pass in the general totals there. And the company totals. And the agent and the start date and the end date, if agent. Because in here we're going to totally do a swap. General totals. So yank word, and then, so these ones are general totals. This is probably a pretty sloppy way of doing it, but to get it up and running, just minimum viable product, get it up and see if it works. Because what we're actually trying to do here is get a product that the client, the owner, the person asking us to do this, that they can comment on things saying, no, I don't like that, or yes, I like this, and or make this better, or something along those lines, right? So you don't want to go too far forward with all these crazy things, but okay, so this has to return the report totals and the general totals. So this is only going to do report totals. I should really rename that general totals because I call it company totals here, so I should mimic that. I wonder if I can just do this. Never done this before, but we can try it. %s report totals for company totals. Why didn't it do it? Report totals, company totals. Weird. Yeah, didn't do it. Alrighty. One more. Okay, so in the company totals, I add in the agent totals, and in the general totals, I subtract the agent totals, and then I pass back the Bump, 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 bump. Company totals. Making sure I didn't miss anything there. Okay. So in here, we're passing back. Oh, did that not save through? General totals. And then I merge the company totals into the general totals for the company and hit save. So let's give this a whirl. Really, there's no general totals. Weird. Okay, let's try this again. Gen or oh. Must have forgot to save it, did I? Yep. Okay, now it works. I was like, what the heck? Try this on for size. Let's see how this looks. Alrighty. There we go. So it broke out this. So there's only one agent, so these two should match. 61020, 61020. So I'm making, okay, so I'm making 1593. So 1593 total, so that matches. Essentially, off this one agent, the company makes 406, which is buried into this number, which I don't need to break out. So essentially, let's just see, I love saying essentially. 610, 610, yeah, so this is just not counting the company as the agent in the my timers, so that's fine. But this is all deductions, which works out to be everything. The 1000 plus the 1000 there is the 22, yep. 15 paid out is the 7.9 and the 7.8, so that's 15. Good. Yeah, I like that. So the only thing left to check is, say we go to, whoops, sorry, agents. And if we go to Al, which is an agent on his own, he pays us 40. Aha, undefined method total pages. Unless paylogs.empty. Interesting. So I'm going to see in the views report agent. Why is that looking for a partial reporting table? So views report reporting table. So where is it looking for pages, which is I don't understand. Oops, it's in here. Oh, under agent show. Yeah, well, obviously. I don't know why. Did I put it into agent show when I was doing the steps? Agents show. Well, obviously, unless paylogs is empty. What is going on here? Why is it sending me there? Okay, so it's going agents albig, agents rendered agents show. This is very, very weird. Okay, so if we go agents controller, paginate, yeah. So under show, oh, because I stopped doing the paginate under there, that's why. So let's just go back right there and just remove the pagination. Oh, that's not what I want. And delete. Okay. Good. Because when I was getting all the paylogs for all that other stuff, I just said, you know what? Don't need pagination for this to show them everything. I may go back and change that later on, but for right now, I'm not. Okay. So we have the show page for them. Let's just quickly check the detail of paylog, make sure that's still all the same. Okay, so this should equal that. It does. This is good. So if I go to agents, and then go to report, this is where it should not show the company, which it doesn't. Perfect. Now if I do the exact same two things with my timer, so I go to logs, this shows all that. Go to details, it still breaks out. No, it's 100% good. So if I go to agents, report, nice. It doesn't show the company, but it doesn't need to because this is the full amount that was deducted. Nice. So it's very easy to tell, like, I don't know. They requested that it didn't have this company part, but it's easy to tell if you just say full deductions, then the take home from this, you can figure out what's left over, but whatever. Good. So everything works. So pretty much, there's one feature that I wanted to add, which is to remove the filter button here. But other than that, I think I'm at the stage where I have it designed the way that I want it to feel. And now I have to go through and write a whole bunch of tests for all the different scenarios and how someone could use the app to make sure that the application actually works properly and doesn't have these little bugs. And that's probably the step I'm at now. So I got like the models and the controller tests all written. They run and pass. So the actual code functions for fetching a page, that works. But the problem comes when like the different scenarios, like what people enter in and what they click on and all that kind of stuff. We just want to make sure all those things work, and I'm going to write tests for that. And That's that. So that's all I'm going to do for today. I accomplished the main thing I wanted to do today in about an hour and a half, which is amazing. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.